Good evening and welcome to Friday's Live with me, Raj Nayak. This evening, I have with me a very talented actor. He's acted in over 400 movies. The Prime Minister of Norway and the BBC honored him for his contribution to international cinema. You have heard of He Man, you've heard of Marvel Man, you heard of Superman. And this evening, I introduce you to Bad Man, a legend in his own right, my dear friend, Gulshan Grover.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Gulshan.
Thank you for such a kind introduction. Thank you.
I could go on and on about you, but I decided to keep it short because, when you're doing an introduction, then you have to remember the introduction. So, and I can go on talking about you, and then we have a whole hour to talk to each other.
Thank you. I'm
I
looking
love your
forward to it.
I love your background. What's it? Is it a studio? I mean, where are you at this moment?
I'm in the living room of my house. This is part of the living room. This is like a little den, which is still part of the living room. Like when you have a smaller meeting or when you want to sit down and do something that you want to concentrate, then come to this area and sit down. And of course, like some pictures of the wall.
Yeah, what are those? So, what are those pictures? What are those pictures?
Uh, these are the like great wonderful achievers that I've had the great pleasure of meeting, interacting, or working with them. And so like every fan, like everybody who admires someone wants to take a picture. And I took a picture or press took a picture, and I made sure I get that photograph.
That's interesting. And of all the people you met, and I know I was just reading a bit. I knew about you, but I didn't know so much about you. And I was just reading, and I realized that you were the first Indian actor to have acted in Polish, Iranian, Malaysian movie.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Uh, you know, Prior to me acting in these three countries, Poland, Malaysia, Iran, Indian actors had not acted in those films because maybe there was no opportunity, maybe there was no reason. But I'm very happy and glad that I am the first one. I mean, of course, Polish film is yet to release, and it was a fantastic experience shooting in Poland and meeting all the Polish actors, Polish technicians, and of course shooting in minus God knows how many, freezing cold, and it was fantastic. Shooting in Malaysia was another fantastic experience, and I've been to Malaysia many times before that, but shooting in Malaysia was fantastic, and of course the wonderful cultural and tourism minister of Malaysia was personally, sort of helped us and personally later on launched the trailer and everything. And shooting in Iran, I tell you, I never thought that I would be so popular. I wasn't. I mean, I was sure about Malaysia because like they love Indian movies, they love Shah Rukh Khan, and so they will definitely know who Gulshan Grover is. But in Iran, I was surprised. I was surprised the kind of attention, affection, and love I got. Oof, unimaginable. I mean, I'm very, very, happy and grateful to, our Indian cinema that helped me, that helps me, and helps every talent to sort of get this kind of love across continents in different countries.
And I also saw that you worked in Canadian, American, of course, British, French, German, Italian. What have you not done?
Italian, and of course Australian as well. And
Wow.
well, I'm lucky that uh, filmmakers from different countries reach out to me on my representation in England or in Los Angeles, and I'm offered parts. Like right now, I have an offer from an Italian film called Everybody Loves Diamonds. which I may not do because looking at the situation, I don't want to travel. Uh, I have offer from, of course, an American film which is going to be shot in Nepal, and they're waiting for the situation to get better. I've offer from a British film, so various countries I get offers from. My agents in both these countries, in England and Los Angeles, send me these scripts and send me these projects that I like based on like how caught up I am here and how interested I am in doing a movie. I do films in multiple countries, and I'm
Yeah.
very happy to do that.
And I mentioned all these languages and everything because I want to take the viewers back to your background, because I was fascinated with the background that you have and all the photographs that you have. And you did mention that it's you taken picture with people whom you admired, right? And obviously, if you've worked in so many countries, you met so many dignitaries. So my question to you is, of all the people you met, who were you most impressed with, or can you tell me some anecdotes about some of these meetings of some interesting people?
I tell you, I'm extremely impressed by all of them. I believe in this. When I came to the film business and people said, "Who's your idol? Which actor you look up to? Who's?" When I said, "You can't idealize one person. There are certain parts, certain talent, certain aptitude of a person that you like. But there are other things that you like for somebody else." So people, this that was many years back, and people felt this is weird. People normally come and say, "मैं दिलीप कुमार का फैन हूँ, मैं धर्मेंद्र जी का फैन हूँ, मैं इसका फैन हूँ, इनकी एक्टिंग का मैं दीवाना हूँ." जब मैंने ये कहा कि मैं उनकी पर्टिकुलर परफॉर्मेंस का दीवाना हूँ, मैं इस बात का दीवाना नहीं हूँ कि हर एक्टिंग उनकी बहुत जबरदस्त होगी. People didn't get it. Similarly, I would say that all these wonderful, great achievers that I've met and that I've encountered, I learned something or the other from all of them. For example, I did a Tibetan film called We Are No Monks. I did it free, bought my own plane ticket, carried my own police uniform. I was playing a terrible police officer of McLeodganj, who hates these Tibetans, who thinks they are like giving, they're destroying the atmosphere of Dharamshala. They are just, like wandering around, catching foreigners, this and the other. Any crime happens, as a character, I said, "Sare Tibetiyon ko pad ke lao." That kind of person, and eventually he understands what they want. He understands that how they feel. They're not seen. They're born here, which is the home they are fighting for. They don't know. This is not their home. Where do they belong? What would they do? So they need to be treated with compassion. This was the film called We Are No Monks. I went to do that, of course, and I said, "Please, will I get to meet His Holiness Dalai Lama Ji?" He said, "Of course, his blessing is in the picture. He knows the whole, happening of each day." Fantastic. I was taken to meet him, and because, as you know, everybody who was there knows who Gulshan Grover is, security, this, that, everybody. They were, very warm and everything. And then this security, that security, and I was being taken there, and my director and few others, we had a camera. So somebody, a relative of His Holiness, said, "Can't take the camera, no pictures." I said, "I see pictures everywhere. I see with Goldie Hawn, I see with Richard Gere. Somebody took those pictures. I want to take a picture." No, you can't take these pictures." Okay, ready? Sure. I went in. I was standing there. There was a little unhappiness in my body that I'm here to do a movie for people from Tibet, a film that represents their youth's frustration. And is this how he's going to treat his guest? I was standing like this, and His Holiness came. I tell you the truth. He came, he looked at me, held my hand, and he could sense resistance, anger, disillusionment, everything in my body. And he said, "Don't be upset." He doesn't know the incident. he started to walk from this side of his home or his prayer room, and he was coming towards my side when somebody tried to take the camera away. He just felt my hands, he looked at me, and he said, "I'm very happy and obliged that you did this film. Tell me, is Tibetan young boys as talented? They're good?" He was asking me those questions. Something, when he held my hand, all the anger, resentment, this, that, and the other. कि मैं आपके यहाँ पे आया, मुझे ऐसे treat करोगे, वो सब चला. I came out so happy, so pure. And he said, "I have to address a gathering, people who have just arrived from Tibet, and don't go away. I want to spend some time with you. Or tell me when you can come for my shooting. I will be waiting to meet you." Oh my God. Well, everything changed. I came back, to the filming spot, a different person, understanding that how when it's not just the beautiful words, that His Holiness says, it's not the beautiful, wonderful deeds, it's not the cause that he's fighting for, it's not, what he's teaching everybody, there was something about his, that changed my way of thinking. Similarly, I'll tell you another interesting incident.
Good.
A very dear friend of mine, Dr. Musharraf Ali, he's, doctor for alternate medicines. He's a personal physician of Prince Charles and royal family for almost 50, 60 years. He's the one who's treated Shah Rukh's back as well, and also my ex-wife's, back and everything. Shekhar Kapoor's back. So Dr. Mozu Ali, as we call him, he every now and then I say, "Oh, I have to rush. I have to go to Prince Charles." I said, "I want to meet him." I said, "Let me find out." So I was there. He said, "Can you leave in 20 minutes and wear a suit and a tie?" And Prince has given 10 minutes for you. So fine. I was not carrying a tie. I was carrying a film star kind of suit and a turtleneck. I'm going to England. It'll be cold. I went there. He was very upset that tie to pehnni chahiye thi yaar. It's a protocol. I said, "I don't have it." I went. We call him HRH, and everybody calls him HRH, short form of His Royal Highness. We started talking. My time was for 7-8 minutes, and we continued to speak. And after some time, HRH said, "Gulshan, let me show you my garden." And we went for a walk to the garden. He explained to me various things, and he explained to me so many things and what came across was that every enterprise of his, everything that he does, is for charity. He said, he kept saying in the conversation, this was in Highgrove, this is not in the, in the palace, this is like a home where he lives, which is away from England. And he said, Gulshan, in my shop. I said, "I can't fathom. Why would a prince have a shop? You have a shop." So we have a shop. It's here in the premise. And today is Saturday. I'll have somebody open it, have a look. So, why have a shop here? I went to see. I looked. There was right from carpet to vodka to jam to candles to everything being sold in that shop. And that shop was just outside where the guests are brought, a large hall. And they brought 15, 20 minutes, half an hour earlier to spend time in that shop. And then they go inside, and then it's announced that the prince will be joining in a second or this, that, and the other. I came back and he said, "So what do you think?" And then I asked the people, he said, "Every penny that is earned from this goes to so-and-so charity, so-and-so charity, so-and-so charity." People are at their best to impress somebody, that you come to someone's house, you want to impress. And people are not so easy, like spending money on charities, giving money on charities. If you were to say, "Hold on, before you meet, can you donate some money to charity?" People will find out. People take all those souvenirs, people all take all those things. Those things are shipped to their countries and everything. And the money goes to the right cause. Very impressive. We got talking about this. I spent 2 hours. Every other meeting was waiting. And my friend Dr. Ali, Dr. Mozu Ali, said, "What did you do? What did you say?" Mozu was there, and then it just this that I truly and genuinely admired that what he was doing for the people of England, what he was doing for nature. Like, for example, we are talking about green, we are talking about like we must get back to the nature now. This I'm talking about almost 15 years back. All he kept saying was, "We are destroying nature. We're destroying things. We need to work on this." So I've had multiple meetings with him, multiple interactions with him, and I also was very pleased that when he went to a function and some very many large number of Bollywood stars were introduced to him and said, "This is so and so, this is so and so." He's super shy. I said, "Do you guys know the Bad Man?" So, yes, he's a friend of ours. He's my friend as well.
Yeah. So tell me, I mean, it must be fascinating. I mean, having grown up to be a successful actor, having acted in almost most of the international languages. So tell me, did you always want to be an actor? So tell me, when you were growing up as a little boy, you still look like a little boy. You still look very young.
That's very kind of you.
Okay.
My friend Anil Kapoor will be either very upset
Yeah. He's my friend too.
or he'll be
Yeah.
happy saying, at least मेरा दोस्त है, मेरा acting school का batchmate.
हाँ, it's interesting. तो ये बताओ कि when you were young, so what did you want to become? I mean, where are you from? Let's start from there. Where are you from originally?
See, I was born and raised on the outskirts of Delhi, and studied on the outskirts of Delhi, which is quite a few miles from Delhi, and it was where I studied and everything. And since my father said the only one thing that can take you away from all your difficulties, from all your present situation that you are in, your economical problems, is education. If you study, you reach, you reach far in life. So we all kids, studied, worked very hard, and I got first class first, and went to Sri Ram College of Commerce, which was extremely difficult to get into, even today, and even at that time. And I went to study in Sri Ram College of Commerce. Of course, my batchmates, my senior was late Arun Jaitley. My batch classmate was Justice Arjun Sikri.
Wow.
Justice Sikri, Arjun and me sat on the same bench, and we sit down and whenever I go to Delhi, meet him, and we talk about those days.
Wasn't Rajat Sharma and Ryan Karanjewala also at the same time?
Yes, absolutely.
They were your seniors?
Sorry?
Were they your seniors?
No, they were. मतलब अभी मेरे senior लगते हैं.
हाँ.
रजत भी और Ryan भी और वो दोनों, they were my classmates. They
were your classmates. Okay.
Yeah, Rajat was my batchmate. Ryan was my batchmate. Sunil Sethi, the president Fashion Design Council, he was my classmate. Like somewhere Sunil keeps joking. He got white beard, white this, that, and the other, and he said, I did some acting while we were in college with Gulshan Grover. They said, "But you look like his grandfather." So Sunil and all that. So they were all my batch.
So you did your MCom.
Sorry.
Yeah, you did your MCom.
Yes.
You finished your education.
Yes.
So before I move forward, let me go a little backwards. So tell me, what were your parents doing? What was your father doing?
Well, I come from a very humble background. My father was a shopkeeper, and everybody's dream was me, that studied hard, gone to Sri Ram College of Commerce, and now I'm going to get a fantastic job.
So how many brothers and sisters were you? How many brothers and sisters?
We have 2 brothers and we have 5 sisters, 7 siblings.
And you are the eldest, youngest, in the middle? Where are you?
I'm number 3.
Number 3, okay.
Yeah. So there was no acting. There was nothing like this that I want to be an actor till that point. I was acting. Started acting in Ram Leela, where we stay. I did plays in the school. When I went to Sri Ram College of Commerce, within a year, I was secretary fine arts. I was president fine arts. And I had the pleasure of sending Rajat Sharma for debate competition because I knew that Rajat will definitely get gold. I would send like somebody else for like uh, an allocation. Like the debate competition in Delhi University, one place this and the other. I was involved in the like fine arts, and I was an actor, known actor, that I would be acting in my college plays. At the same time, there were girls' college in Miranda House and IP College who would invite certain males from different colleges to act in their play. And I was one of them as well. But I never thought that I would become an actor because it never crossed my mind. Also, all I needed to do was study, get a fascinating job, and make my family's life better.
So when you did your MCom, what kind of a job were you looking for? I mean, what did you have in your mind? What would you want to pursue?
See, I'd also sat in the entrance of CA. I'd also looked at multiple bank jobs. I'd also looked at various other jobs that your academic background of having, being MCom from commerce would get you. And I was very close to selecting and choosing. And then I told my father, I want to become an actor.
So what
And
was his reaction? What was his reaction?
my father himself, a writer, an artist, a very composed man, very forward thinking man, my late father, he said, at this time, in these circumstances, he didn't say it, but it was in his eyes where we are all expecting you to be the bread earner. And you are going towards a job which is not secure. He said, okay, give yourself a time. I do want you to try. I do want you to get this out of the system. Otherwise, all your life, you will think that I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd done that. And I said, you tell me how much time? He said, 6 months. 6 months. Try. Work hard. Even if you don't succeed, don't feel defeated. Come back. Start again. And I'll tell you what I said a little while ago that you will regret all your life. I didn't get to do this. The movie may still get made. There's a movie that I'm doing called The Driver, where
The driver.
the driver, Salma Hayek plays my wife in that movie, directed by Bill Duke. Bill Duke is an African American director, actor, and that movie is one line subject is this only that the wife realizes that my husband left all his dreams, all that what he could have been to fend for us, to take care of family. This is not fair. He'll only be a picture on the wall that he used to play very good cricket or he was a good guitar player or, like it'll be stories that would tell children or grandchildren. No. To be fair, he must try all that. She is the driver to fulfill husband's unfulfilled dream, desire. And she takes a lead and starts to find what he wants to do. And of course, in that, the husband starts to get success. Complications happen in relationship because of distractions and this, that, and the other. But she's the driver. A woman drives and makes sure that my husband's unfulfilled dreams, desires must be given a shot at. So, like that, my father.
So I mean, very progressive for your father. How many years back was this?
He
I'm not. I'm
honestly,
not trying to get your age. No,
no,
but he must have been extremely progressive for him to say that, given the background that you mentioned, for him to say, I want you to at least give it a try, take 6 months, follow your passion. Amazing. Yeah. So,
absolutely amazing. And I failed in those 6 months. I failed miserably.
so
Forget
what
about
did
it.
you do?
Sorry?
Sorry for interrupting. So when he told you, okay, now you got 6 months try. So what was your next step?
Convince my mother. Who was a simple lady, my late mother. She said in Punjabi, तू जो मर्जी कर, शामी कार आके सोना है. Whatever you do, you have to come back in the night and sleep at home. Here. She thought I'm going a few miles somewhere to do something. We lived on the outskirts still, you know. When it was explained to her that I'm going to go hundreds and thousands of miles away and I won't be returning home every night so that she can see me and I get home, eat food, and go to sleep. No. It'll be, God knows, after months. I didn't know when. She said, no way. And then she came to know from somebody, my sisters tried to explain to her, and then she came to know that there is a large sea in Bombay. She was raised in Ambala near Bhakra Nangal Dam, where the dam used to flow and homes and lives and everything used to be wiped out. And she said, that city where there is such a large water, you are not good. Simple lady, simple way of thinking. And she was finally convinced with one assurance that I would write one letter every day and I would not go closer to that water. I never did. I never did for about, I wrote one letter every day without fail. I never, ever, ever stepped on the Juhu beach or any beach for about 3 or 4 years of my initial stay till my mother came here. We all went together and we showed her this is a civilized water. It's not like Bhakra Nangal Dam.
So when you came to Bombay, obviously, whilst you've acted in your college and things like that, you had no formal acting experience, right? I mean, and so when you came to Bombay, did you have any connections in Bollywood? How did it work?
Well, I think it was a mistake for someone educated like me and someone coming from, like that kind of exposure and background. I should have thought. I just came and I said things will start to happen because there was very little media. There were just articles and magazines which told us stories about how an actor got spotted at the road, how the road.
Stardust.
I think like many,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Cineplate, Stardust. There are so many of them.
yeah,
Screen. Yeah, yeah.
Star and Style, and then also
Yes. Filmfare.
many I think that came out of Delhi, like so many of them. But that was not true. No director was walking around on the street or walking on the Linking Road and looking for some interesting faces and casting them. Nothing like that. I realized that I need formal training. That's when I went to join Professor Roshan Taneja Saab, late Professor Roshan Taneja Saab's acting school, which was the very first batch. Because the acting course in Pune had closed down, and Professor Saab moved to Bombay and started this course. My batchmate was Anil Kapoor, late Mazhar Khan, Madan Jain, Surinder Pal, Raj Singh, and many talented actors. And of course, uh, Mazhar passed away. Anil and me, sort of have made name for ourselves and have
A
achieved
career for yourselves. Yes.
tremendous success. So after that formal training, everything changed. I even got a job in the same school. I taught for about 8, 9 years.
So
While
you taught acting in the same institute.
same institute for about 8, 9 years. Even when I got acting jobs, even though when I was acting, those days I'll take off, but I'll come back to teaching. And like I was involved. I was a teacher for Sanjay Dutt, Kumar Gaurav, Sunny Deol, Vijeta Pandit, Tina Muneem, so many of them, including Govinda, many actors, And uh, the when I started to get work, then it'd be like, because you see, the acting teaching is that you have a class which is an hour and a half, 2 hours. You can still go do your struggle of looking for work. You can still go and do if you've got a job for a few days as an actor, you can act and somebody else can take that class in those days. So I continued to teach till it became like this, that like I have multiple films and I'm not able to go back to school, but I do still sometimes go back to school for just an honorary lecture and things like that.
Does it still exist?
Of course, of course. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. He is. Sir passed away, and his son runs it. And the other teachers, some of them who are our teachers, like for Anil and me, our teacher was Mithun Chakravarti. Our teacher was late Om Puri. Our teacher was Benjamin Gadani. Our teacher was, so many of them, and so many of the past students of Sir Roshan Taneja Saab, like Shabana ji, Jai Bachchan ji, she was there at our school regularly. Shatrughan ji, Danny Lengzappa, you name it, all these people, all those senior stars, senior actors who were Sir's student at Pune Film Institute and were there in the evening to interact with us, sometimes to take a guest class and things like that.
But today that doesn't happen, right? Today's actors don't go and teach and don't go and spend time and impart their knowledge.
I think this is a tradition with Sir Roshan Taneja Saab's school. All actors go, and
Even now, even now. Oh, fantastic.
I've seen pictures and videos of Jackie. I've seen photographs of various others. They go. It's like sharing your experiences, chatting with the students, and paying respect and gratitude to your professor. So you are the star teacher. You are the like the students have more. This, oh my God, our teacher is so and so. He's a big movie star. This and the other, male, female, all everybody does.
So, which was your first movie? How did you get your first break?
It was while training for Sanjay Dutt. Late Sunil Dutt Saab used to see me. See, acting, when you do a crash course is where other students are not present. You are given classes by Professor Saab, his immediate assistant, a female assistant, to one individual actor. You got to act with somebody. You have to work with someone. So, Sanjay Dutt and I used to do improvisation, scene, this, that, and the other, where I'm a senior, I'm a teacher. So I have been instructed by my professor to where to maneuver him, what is his weakness, how to take this in that direction. And after multiple classes, that sub used to come and watch. And he saw very good synergy, interaction between us. And then there was a demonstration of Sanjay Dutt's talent that was kept in Ajanta Art's office. His mother was invited, DOP Ramchandra ji was invited, Thapa Saab was invited, various other people, Bhallaji was invited. And all those people who were involved in the making of Rocky were invited to see whether he's ready or should we delay the film for a few months. We started doing all that, of course. Sanjay Dutt's mother was present there and he got a little this and the other. And there was a certain maneuvering I as a teacher, I as a co-actor had to do in that. And once all that was finished, that got me a role. That's upset. I'm going to cast him in a movie as you and Sanju are best friend. You're also his teacher, you're also his guru, but whatever advice you give goes wrong. I wanted to be a villain. I didn't want to do that. But I was very, very happy that he thought of me and he gave me a role. And that's the kind of part I played in the film Rocky. That we are friends, and I say, plan ye hai, aise karenge, ye karenge. And he's gullible and listens to my plan, and everything's a mess. That's what I got. Then Anil's father, Surendra Uncle, late Surendra Kapoorji, when we are passing out, a whole lot of, like Bollywood producers, directors, big shots are invited to see the final exam. And that's when they pick up multiple talent. That's how Shailendra Singh was picked up by Raj Kapoorji. That's how somebody else was picked up Shabana ji was picked up by someone else. Because last 5, 6, 7 days of your examination, there are producers, directors, various people who come and watch. They're free to ask questions, they're free to do this and the other. So Sundar Kapoorji had come, and Subhash Ghai ji was there, Tarak Singh Barjatya was there. So many big shots were there. And Surendra uncle liked my work very much. And he said, of course he knew I used to spend a lot of time at their home, Anil's home. I used to stay there every weekend. So Surendra uncle cast me in Hum Paanch, which was Boni's first film as a producer. So I got Rocky, I started filming, and and I got Hum Paanch. These two films simultaneously. And then, Anil and me, every day, used to go to various producers' offices everywhere, asking for roles, carrying our photographs, struggling. And Surendra Kapoor uncle, introduced me to F.C. Mehra Saab and Umesh Mehra ji and Rajiv Mehra ji. And Rajiv Mehra cast me in Ek Jaan Hai Hum with Chimpu Kapoor. I was getting films like this, literally. And the only thing I would say that I just read this yesterday. Yesterday they said Arnold Schwarzenegger says I'm not a self-made man. I am man. I'm successful because of the people I encountered. Each one helped me. How right that is for my journey, I can't explain it to you. It was just yesterday his tweet was there, and someone introduces him on the stage.
Very interesting. Very, very
said-
interesting. I mean,
he
it's
said,
true for all of us.
Yeah, I am not a self-made man. Compare, the host says, I'll send you that Arnold's tweet. And he says, Arnold always says, I am successful because of the people I encountered who helped me. And that has exactly happened to me. Whoever I met, they went out of their way to help me. I got another movie. I'm working in Hum Paanch. Boni's father gave me the role. Boni, Anil, they were all my friends, brothers. And Shabana ji met me there. I worked with her. And Shabana ji recommended me for Avatar, a film that changed my life. Anil took me to an outdoor and recommended me to Balu Mahendra for film Sadma. Someone else. So eventually people start to say, अरे ये तो self-made आदमी, देखो कोई Godfather नहीं था. वो सारे लोग थे जो छोटे से मौके में मिले, उन्होंने आपको गाइड किया या एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया और वो अपने आगे चले गए. This is how it's been for me.
So, when did you get the tag Bad Man?
Subhash Ghai. I was rising up. I started to be, getting lots of films, this and that. Subhaji met me one day and he said, कल सुबह क्या कर रहा है? So I said, sir, shooting है. कितने बजे? I said, sir, 9:30. Okay. 8 बजे आ जा, breakfast खाते हैं. सुभाष जी ने breakfast के लिए बुलाया, मतलब रोल है. So I went to his house. Rihanna Bhabhi is a great host. ये नाश्ता वो नाश्ता खा रहे हैं, नाश्ते की बातें कर रहे हैं, कोई रोल की बात ही नहीं कर रहे. 9 बज गए, मुझे पहुंचना शूटिंग के लिए. मैं बोला सर मैं चलता हूँ. Subhash ji is very, very magnanimous. He comes to the elevator always, says bye, chit chats, कोई गपशप मारते हैं. तो मैं तो खुद भी डर के मारे लिफ्ट का बटन नहीं दबा रहा था कि यार शायद अभी कुछ बता दें. लिफ्ट का बटन दबाया तो बहुत हाई फ्लोर पे रहते हैं. ये फिल्म का सीन है लिटरली. जब लिफ्ट आने लगी मुझसे रहा नहीं गया यार. मैंने कहा सर मेरा कोई रोल है, मुझे आपने. हाँ तेरा रोल है. Every time you appear on screen you say I'm a bad man. Lift आके चल जाते हैं shooting. That's what he narrated to me, and that is how he had thought of the role. That every time this character appears on the screen and says I'm bad and I hate good people, I don't like good people, I'm bad. He's truly a cinema genius, Subhash Ghai.
Yeah.
Then there was, another truly cinema genius, late Ashok Mehta, the DOP. There was talent in that film, like, Ram Lakhan, you see, like Anil, Jackie, Dimple, Madhuri, Saeed Jaffrey, Raza Murad, Paresh Rawal, Anu Kapoor, Gulshan Grover, this, that. So many actors, so many people. And we were all working like crazy mad people. Film got ready. We were going for the premieres. Subhashji's condition was everybody will come here, park their cars here, come up, have a drink, and we all will go in one bus. Nobody will come in separate cars. We are waiting for this one to come, that one to come. Bus जाएगी, सब उतरेंगे, premiere में जाएंगे. Next, there used to be multiple premieres at that time. 7, 8, 10 premieres one night. So we went. Initially, we got seat in the back. The big guys, the big boys were in the front, and there was distributor Tolu Bajaj, Subhashji, everybody. First screening में गए, public चिल्ला रही थी, bad man, bad man. And that really, Subhashji's vision, Subhashji's thinking, translated so well. I'm not saying others were not praised. I'm not saying others were not liked. That film, everybody was extraordinary. But there was a surprise. There was this new villain who had this strange line, bad man. No one comes to a party and says, I'm the terrible guy, talk to me, So it caught up with people. And then next 6 premiere में तो मैं भी आगे था. So it's wonderful director Subhash Gaiji, who thought, who wrote, and who shot this and made Bad Man. Not just that people in India, I mean in Hollywood, everywhere.
Incidentally, I don't know whether you saw, this morning I chanced upon a video. Okay. I don't know when it was shot. I tweeted it. I don't know whether you saw. I tweeted it. I tagged you also on it.
No, I saw it. I saw it, like just a little while ago.
Yeah, I don't know who the person is, but he tells his kid saying, is he a bad man? And the kid says, no.
Oh, that's the star of Bold and Beautiful. He's very, very popular star, Derek, Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
In
that context, it didn't register. Yeah. So did you see that? So when was that? When did that happen? Was that your first Hollywood movie? What was it?
Absolutely right. That was my first screening of first Hollywood film, Jungle Book 2. It was at Sony Pictures, Los Angeles in Culver City. And
I've been there.
Sorry?
I've been there.
Yes. He was there. And he was at that screening. When I saw this video, I don't know how you got it, and I'm looking dazed, and I'm watching it also. I was dazed.
No, I was fascinated to see it, and there were some very nice words said by Kabir Bedi.
He was, to be very honest, of course, Big Brother Kabir Bedi has been very, very helpful, very, very encouraging. And, Kabir was there at the screening, and he said in the end that, Gulshan has done what many Indian actors want to do, don't have the courage to do, or don't put in the time or effort to do. That is so true. I mean, when it is said that Gulshan Grover is the first commercial cinema actor to make a transition from Bollywood to Hollywood, many people misunderstand कि गुलशन ग्रोवर पहला एक्टर तो नहीं है हॉलीवुड में काम करने वाला, उससे पहले तो वो था गलत समझते. ट्रांजिशन, मैं यहाँ का स्टार हूँ, मैं हॉलीवुड में जाकर काम करूँगा, अपने घर वापस आ जाऊँगा, ना मैं ग्रीन कार्ड लूँगा, ना मैं वहाँ पर घर लेकर रहने लगूँगा. I will go there, I will work, I will come back to my respective country. Trust me. It was very difficult for actors before me, whether it was Saeed Jaffrey, whether it was Kabir Bedi, whether it was Persis Kambata, whether it was so many other wonderful people who went before us to work in Hollywood. But what was really challenging for me was to tell them, pre-internet days, pre-mobile days, pre-fax days, that I'm a film star from India. I'm a popular actor from India. I'm here to work. And when I'm done, I'm going back to my country. I'm not available to you for auditions. I'm not available to you for everything every day. So what the hell? Who wants you? Get out of here. I mean, it took me years, and they had no exposure to our wonderful Indian cinema. All they had seen was great, wonderful, fantastic films that were played at the film festivals. Satyajit Ray Saab's film, Mrinal Sen Saab's film. Those films, iconic films, films that we are proud of, cinema that we are proud of. But there is a parallel commercial cinema, popular cinema, that will make their film be viewed by hundreds and thousands of people more. Like even today, if Priyanka Chopra is in a film, there is at least a certain million of people that are going to watch from India as well. There's a certain distribution value that is added to it. Sure. I was trying to convince them to say that I'm not here looking for a job. I'm here to take my talent, my craft to the next level. Kindly understand. I'm going to go back. I have multiple films waiting. I get out of the airport, I'm screamed, shouted at by the taxi wallahs, They didn't get it because there's no internet. And it continued for me to expose them to our wonderful cinema by carrying VHS that had no subtitles. Because why would they have English subtitles? Because there was no English-speaking market for us. I carried articles, I carried various things to expose them to these, and then to convince them the film is about 3 hours. Gulshan, you must be crazy. How can you make a movie for 3 hours? And I don't understand one word what you guys are saying. You want to watch this movie? I had to sort of slowly say, okay, watch for 10 minutes. Please watch for 15 minutes. Just get an idea of what our movies are. It worked. And my argument was, what about Jean Reno? He works in France, works in French films, comes to Los Angeles, does a job, goes back. What about Hugh Grant? He lives in England. What about Harvey Bardem? He was not there at that time. Neither Jackie Chan was there. These people work in their respective countries. Harvey Bardem works in Spanish films. Like Jackie Chan works in Chinese films. Nicole Kidman, like so many other Australian actors. Why are you treating us differently? Just because our films are not viewed here? The day you view them, the day you understand the kind of popularity that we have, the kind of cinema that you will understand, and that day sort of has arrived. It took me a long time, and I'm very proud that somebody who wrote that Gulshan Grover created a mud path between Bollywood and Hollywood, and which is being cemented and followed by these wonderful, fantastic colleagues of mine, whether it is Priyanka Chopra, whether it is late, Irfan Khan, whether it was Anil Kapoor, Anupam Kher, various others. So it was very difficult, very tough. And someone like Kabir Bedi to support this and to say this. I mean, like in that clip, I'm trying to remember, this is almost 35 years back.
I don't know. I just came across it and I was like, fascinated. I've saved it. In fact, I'll WhatsApp
so
it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to, take it out and save it. And yeah, because he said it very rightly. It's not that I was the only talented actor. It was just that the others didn't have the courage. It's very humbling to go there and say, "Hi, I'm Gulshan Grover. I'm an actor from India. No one knows you, no one recognizes you, no one gives a shit about you because you're not seen." I'm talking about pre-Google days. It's easy today. Hi, I'm Priyanka Chopra. 1 minute में आ जाता है 5,000 article. So you know that there's somebody important. We must take this meeting. You say I'm so and so. I'm Raj Nayak. You just put the name. Hundreds of articles will come. Like your wonderful achievements will come. When all this was not there, it was the other person and you. Is your saying going to convince the other person to take up this meeting? Is your saying I'm so and so? I've done so many movies. I mean, I'm a popular actor. And when you narrate an incident, trust me, when I go back and when I step out of the airport, there will be, like hundreds of people, running for autograph. All that is what you are saying. How will they believe it? How do they find out? And in a country where there's talent like Amitabh Bachchan ji, talent like, so many wonderful actors who are far, far better than, like world-class actors, somebody had to do this and say, okay, and I'm glad it's sort of this transition has
So
worked.
tell me then, how did the other languages happen? I mean, you just decided that you will, because you've done pretty well in acted in so many different languages.
Right, right, right. But I think it happened while I was shooting for Jungle Book. A French crew was quite scouting locations, and they spoke to the line producer, and they said, "That guy, very interesting face. Who's he? Very popular Indian star." This and the other. So the first French film happened while, I was shooting for Jungle Book, and then there was no stop. It was,
So you consciously or subconsciously managed to retain and cultivate the image of bad man. Bad man. Right? Say it, say it, say it, say it. Say it.
bad man.
Yeah. So how? I mean, was it a conscious effort that you will only do negative roles and you will remain a bad man? Was it a conscious decision? I also saw a tweet. I put out a tweet for the show this evening, and my previous guest Jwala Gata wrote back saying "bad man," and you wrote back to us saying, "Yes, I'm a bad man."
Yeah.
I saw that banter happening this morning.
Yes, it was a conscious effort. What do they teach you in Shriram College of Commerce? Commerce, marketing, creating brands. And when I came to the business also, I realized for that मैं बहुत टैलेंटेड एक्टर हूँ, मैं ये रोल भी कर सकता हूँ, वो भी कर सकता हूँ, ये भी कर सकता हूँ, नहीं रिकॉल वैल्यू चाहिए जल्दी से फट से वो चाहिए कि oh that quick good fantastic. And right from the start I tried to create a brand. Once you create a brand, they said you'll be typecast. I said only weak actors, less hardworking people worry about this, that I'll be typecast. When you're talented, when you're sincere, you work hard, you'll break all that when the time comes. And when you break all that, you will have more recognition कि ये भी कर सकता है. So I wanted to create a brand that villain का role, bad man का role, okay, why not Gulshan Grover? Things like fans, when I come on screen, the director doesn't have to waste, like 300 foot of, like establishing me. I just enter, they know, up picture mein kuch mara mari, kuch garbar hogi, So all that helped. And to be able to do that, for example, let's say, my dear, dear friend, my brother, someone whom I admire so much, Anupam Kher. Anupam Kher is a versatile actor like all of us.
Fabulous.
Yeah. But there was a time when he replaced Dilip Kumar, Dilip Kumar Saab in Vijay. Saransh, there was another path of serious roles, mature roles. Then he did fantastic comedy. Ram Lakhan, this, that, and the other. And there was a path of comedy. Then I played his son in maybe 50 films as villains, father villain, son villain. Then something else. And then he was enjoying every role. He was not creating a brand. He was just taking up roles that he liked. And then it got messed up. That for a while, that किस role में cast करें, कैसा करें, Whereas they were, like for example, let's say, like somebody who specializes as a villain may have limited offer roles, in a script, but it was easier. Brand was established. So I worked very hard to establish a brand, while knowing this very well that I'm not scared of being typecast. I will break it when the time comes. And I did, time and again, time and again. I mean, like in various films. Mahasangram, I was a good guy. I was not a bad guy. I was like, people were clapping, people were, like saying fantastic things. I'm the only, I would say, villain who had the opportunity, a great opportunity of playing good husband, good lover to such wonderful actor. I played Bipasha Basu's husband. I played Manisha Gaurara's husband. I played Mahima Chaudhary's husband. I played love interest of Katrina Kaif. I played Dinah Hayden's husband. I played Padmini Kolhapuri. So many of these wonderful leading actresses, their husbands, starting from Padmini Kolhapuri to Katrina Kaif. Because that sort of versatility had come across later, not initially.
So tell me, I mean, it's a coincidence that you and Anil were classmates and batchmates in your acting school. And he's one actor I've seen who's like, he's a hero whom I say ages in the reverse. Okay, and I would say you are a villain who ages in the reverse. So after Ras kya hai? So I'm going to give you a new title today. I call Anil Kapoor the evergreen hero, and so now today I'm going to officially nominate you as the evergreen villain. So after
Thank
Ras
you.
kya hai? How do you remain so young?
Oh, thank you. Very simple it is. Very, very simple. Honestly. See, I look up to Anil Kapoor for many things. Like it's very difficult to learn from your friend whom you've seen, in the earlier
And
years.
he's also extremely hardworking,
Yeah,
extremely hardworking,
hardworking,
and yeah,
focused, and forward thinking also. So, tremendous
and grounded like you, my
and
friend.
grounded. And grounded. Now the thing is, I have a similar formula but slightly more easy formula. I say if you don't give, like Akshay Kumar also says, if you don't give 1.5 hours to your body each day, you are sort of like reducing your years. First to live happily. Later years, घुटने में दर्द है, ये है, खांस रहे हैं, किडनी खराब है, ये खराब है, क्योंकि आपने उस समय नहीं. And when you have decided to devote that 1 hour, 1.5 hours to yourself, your body, there are going to be 1,000 obstacles of different kinds. एक इम्पॉर्टेंट मीटिंग होगी जो आज छोड़ दी तो पता नहीं नेक्स्ट वीक होगी या नहीं होगी. एक फोन कॉल यार अर्जेंट, ये जरूरी करना. एक यार the daughter is saying today I'll do the exercise tomorrow. Today the cats are not fitting. Something or the other will come in your world. When you get that obsession that these are all like problems of obstacles that are going to come in the way of me giving an hour to myself, I'm going to rise above that. I'm going to, no matter what, give an hour for sure. If 1.5 hours, that is fantastic to my body. Then you decide, oh, I like walking, or I like playing badminton, or I like that swimming, or I like combination of this, or I like a little bit of weight, a little bit of yoga. You can decide what you like, but if you don't give an hour and a half to your body, oh, you are in deep trouble. That is firstly the foundation. And secondly, when you eat, don't think your body to be a kachre ka dabba. Ye bhi kha lo, wo bhi kha lo, aisa bhi kha lo. Eat everything, but eat in moderation. And also look at it. What is the, like in this food, what I'm eating, is it only good for taste or does it have any, nutrition value? Accordingly, I don't diet. I eat healthy. I don't have a fancy dietitian, this and the other, food coming from somewhere, calories measured, nothing. My body tells me. I exercise. And of course, I don't know what others, I can sleep like this.
You'll have to come a little to your left. This side, yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Like what happens is that I can sleep like this very easy. The moment I decide sleep, 2 seconds and I'm gone. And I think like that is the only way. Exercise, and it's not one is not talking about big bodybuilding, this and the other. You want to just walk for an hour, just walk for an hour. For example, now we couldn't go down. I mean, like my evening is at the gym, 8 to 10. I'm not available to the world, and. I leave the house around 4 to 8. I go to the gym. 10 o'clock, they put the lights off and they keep saying, "Sir, I'm जा रहे हैं, आप जब मर्जी जाना." And that's when I leave the gym. But in this pandemic, there was no gym. So me and my son Sanjay, living room of the house is where we are running, yeah, from one wall to the other. It's like we start to get giddy initially. I mean, like, it's just a living room. It's not a big ground. We're exercising, we're doing push-ups on the wall, this and using things that are in the house. So 1.5 hour every day to your body. Eat what has got nutrition value. Don't eat that it only has taste value. Some days you do something for taste, but then don't do it every day. That's about it.
Fantastic. And we've got very limited time, so I'm wrapping it up. And before, since you mentioned Sanjay, so what is Sanjay doing now?
Well, Sanjay has been working with Hollywood studio MGM for multiple years as a film producer, and the chairwoman of MGM, Mary Parent, and CFO Bedi Singh. They sort of spotted the talent in him at a very interesting social interaction where I was there, and it just happened that young man expressed an opinion which is against the tide, criticized the film's poster of chairwoman. I was looking at my son and I'm saying, look at my expression, I'm buttering up to her. I'm somehow wanting to get things done. What are you doing? He spoke his mind, and his reasoning had logic. The chairwoman said, Sanjay, I don't know, when do you get done from your UCLA? He was studying in UCLA Business of Hollywood and Business of Entertainment as post-graduation. He says, Sanjay, when do you get done? He says, I get done in about 4 months. He says, I'm going to write my cell number. When you get done, when you have done your graduation, the first call you're going to do is call me. And sure enough, like a father, I reached there, phone call.
Very
And he
nice.
said, she may have forgotten. I said, call, beta. Call. He said, Sanjay, tomorrow morning, come and see me. The MGM headquarters is opposite to Century City Mall.
Yeah.
Waiting in the mall, Sanjay's gone inside to meet. In about 2 hours, she comes back with an appointment letter. And she hired him. She gave him an office on the same floor as her. Like, it's a tall building, and the top floor has where you have to punch in a certain code, certain card.
Yeah.
Only then you can go there. And she gave him an office next to it. Later on, I asked her, she said, we are making films for the audiences. And this young man spoke that audience's mind. I want to incorporate what he thinks, what he does. And let me tell you, recent example. She's now the chairwoman of Legendary Pictures and their film Godzilla versus Godzilla, the big mega movie.
Yeah.
Was releasing. So Sanjay sent her an email saying, Mary, all the best for your release. And she called and says, Sanjay, I'm at a very interesting situation. This hybrid release, they were releasing the film in theaters and on HBO Max. This hybrid release of the movie is interesting and looks like it is going to be the future. And Sanjay said, although I would like to watch this movie, like in, mega screen, but I'm very sure it will be a success. No, this young person's opinion on this hybrid release to her mattered even today. And they both said that this is something, obviously, she with her experience and Sanjay with her fearless opinion, and said, this is going to be the future. It's going to be a hybrid release. It's going to be a hybrid experience. The theaters and OTT can't fight. They have to be together somewhere. Somewhere it has to be that some revenue will come from theaters, some revenue will come from OTT. So, that's how Sanjay's way of thinking is. Sanjay presently is here, and
Yes.
he's going to make some films here. And I'm hoping
Wonderful.
that.
Wonderful. And I can see a proud father speaking. And thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
I call you Gulshan, brother, bad man. What do I call you?
Anything you like.
Okay,
Anything.
my
Thank you
friend,
so much.
my
And
friend.
right at
Thank.
the start, you said have a conversation. So I had a conversation from the heart.
Yes, that's what this is all about. This is not an interview. It's a conversation. It's a free flowing chat. And see, I got to know so many new things about you, right? I mean that having been close friends, even I
Yes.
didn't know a lot of things about you because you don't chat when you discuss achi yaar kya mausam hai, kya ho raha hai, that kind of a thing. But thank you so much, Gulshan, and proud of your achievements, proud of what you have done, and I can see very proud of what your son is doing. And thank you for being on Fridays Live. And hopefully, when the pandemic is over, we shall meet, we shall have a drink together, and give each other a big hug.
Looking forward. Thank you very much. Thank you for the
Thank
opportunity.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.